Our country will be woke no longer.
Oh, and all the white people say amen. But let's talk about that term wokeness, because I'm pretty sure that Trump is using it in a broader context besides its original meaning, which was about Black American liberation. But over the years, it has been expanded primarily by right-wing leaders like Trump and Ron DeSantis to basically be a catch-all insult for everything they oppose. For all the white people who were at attendance clapping that or clapping from their home, especially for the white women, I want to talk to you for a minute. So our country's going to be woke no more, right? Before the Married Woman's Property Act, women's property automatically became her husband's when they got married. Well, we woke up and took care of that, didn't we? And before the Equal Credit Opportunity Act in 1974, I was 13 years old when that happened. That wasn't that long ago. That act finally made it illegal for banks to deny women credit. They couldn't borrow anything without their husband's approval. That act allowed women to have a credit card in their name. But hey, if we're talking wokeness, is that going away? Did you know it took an act of the Supreme Court to legalize access to birth control for married couples? And then it was another 7 years before unmarried women could have access. So come on now, how far back are we taking wokeness? How about the fact that women had to fight to have custody of their kids because the courts automatically awarded them to the men? And guess what? The women woke up and said, we don't think that's right. The Violence Against Women Act of 1994 provided protection for women of domestic abuse, which made it easier to get restraining orders and to prosecute abusers. Can you imagine? Women had to fight for that right. That's woke. Did you know it took the Pregnancy Discrimination Act of 1978 to protect pregnant women from being fired just because they were pregnant? I sure am glad there were woke women back then fighting for that right. People want to mock Title IX because they think it's just about women in sports, but it's also about education. Before Title IX, colleges and universities could deny your application to college just because you were a woman. And things like protection from workplace harassment. The list goes on and on. This is a very slippery slope. So you have the audacity to stand up and clap for wokeness going away. In reality, some level of wokeness gave you some protection under the law. What you're really saying is, to the degree that I am not inconvenienced or harmed, I am comfortable with the rights of someone else being stripped away. That is a disgusting, entitled, bigoted mindset. It shows that you are comfortable with your privilege that someone long before you fought for, but you feel entitled in your right to take it away from another. And for those of you who stand on Christian principles to mock wokeness, shame on you. Because not only are you a hypocrite, you are blasphemous towards the very foundation of your faith. You would do well to know history, because what you are doing is ensuring that future generations will have fewer rights than you did. That can never be reconciled with kindness and compassion. Every one of us has benefited from some level of wokeness, and instead of mocking it, you should be grateful.